This is a claim for $3,055 plus court costs. Madison Shelton versus Kelly Zablocki. Will you both please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let me back up. We were here some time ago. This had to do with money that was allegedly borrowed by the defendant from the plaintiff, the amount of $3,055. Ms. Shelton was here on September 2nd, and Ms. Zablocki was not. So I entered a default judgment on behalf of the plaintiff. Ms. Zablocki then wrote me a letter, October 21st, and I wrote her back saying there is no appeal from small claims judgment, and you didn't show up. And you didn't file the demand to set it aside within a timely manner. Then the clerk gave me something. What's a date stamp on this? November 10th. We learned that Kelly Zablocki never got served from the Postal Service. On November 10th, we got the certified mail returned to sender. Now, somebody signed for it on August 11th. Sue Chandler signed for this letter. So I accepted that as a certified proof of service. I don't know who Sue Chandler is. And then eventually the letter came back indicating that Kelly Zablocki had never actually gotten notice of the hearing, which is why she didn't show up. So we'll come back to that in a minute, ladies. So the letter that I wrote to her telling her that she couldn't move to set the default aside is in error, because if she was never served at all, then she can't be excused for not appearing for the hearing. Although we didn't know that until the Postal Service sent us something on November 10th, well after all this had taken place. So ladies, bear with me for a minute. Ms. Bauer, is everybody done?
Judge, I believe we have resolution. I'm hopeful.
Okay.
I indicated to Attorney Popovits that we would be leaving our breakout session and see him back in front of.
All right, well, I'll continue to proceed on this other case. So, Ms. Shelton, you were here back in September, and we made a finding in this case. I put you under oath, and you believe, now this was convoluted. It's a bunch of emails and screenshots and text, and I frankly can't tell what is what. You did give me, however, a breakdown accounting of why you believe that she owed you this much money. And we sort of went from that. Miss Blocky, do you have that in front of you?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
She gave me a breakdown of that adds up to $3,055 of this money that she says that you owe her.
Okay.
So it goes back to December of 24. $900 December, 122 paid $200, $700 due. January 31st, $1,200 rent. Now it's $1,900 due. Paid $600, $1,300 due. Paid gas, food, no food stamps. $82.50. Now she says you owe $1,382 through February. Then February 25th, paid electric, food stamps, $295 divided in half is $147.50. She claims you now $1,529. March rent paid, gas paid, cut in half, $81 due. Through March, she now claims you $1,610. Electric paid, $266, cut in half is $133. Now the total is $1,793. Then rent of $1,200 for March. Total now due is $2,943. Water bill cut in half, $112. That's how she came up with $3,055. Ms. Shelton, is that correct?
Yeah.
All right, let's hold that thought for a minute. Everybody's back on. I heard Ms. Shelton's version of why this money is owed. Ms. Zablocki, you didn't appear because you didn't have notice. And so the default that was entered was probably entered in error, although I indicated we didn't know it. So what do you want me to know? She breaks this down month by month on how much you owe. What's your response?
I have something written down so I didn't forget what to say. I sent you that letter, and a majority of what I wanted you to hear was in that letter. Let me see.
Yes, it's dated October 13th.
Yeah, that was just me explaining my side of the situation since I didn't get to appear and do that over Zoom with you guys when the court date was here. I didn't really
feel like she should have actually gone after Dominic Land, but
Yes, sir.
she doesn't have to. I guess she can pick her defender.
No, not necessarily. No, she doesn't necessarily have to. No, she could.
Okay.
I mean, she's going after me for it, but I don't feel like it's fair, nor was there lease agreement between us. I don't have the financial needs to pay that much money. I raised 5 kids by myself with no help from fathers. Not that it's anybody else's responsibility, but it would put me and my children in very much financial debt, which is why I kind of feel like her coming after me is a little bit more personal on her emotions, because the agreement, when we moved in, the agreement was with Dominic's job, and her coming after me just kind of feels more personal. Just me only.
Well, as I said, she can pursue her defendant, but why not sue Dominic if he's another source of collecting on this?
Because I didn't make any agreements with Dominic. I only talked to Kaylee.
That's false.
Ms. Shelton, this goes under the category of no good deed goes unpunished. You took her in. They were at dire straits. You didn't have a lease. You didn't really exactly know what you were doing in the landlord-tenant business, but you tried to keep track each month of how much was due.
Yep.
Perhaps this could have been done better. Dominic was employed and responsible for paying rent. We paid rent for December, and then he lost his job. They didn't pay January's rent, February's rent, March's rent. And so those figures are accurate. Now, this is a lot of rent for a basement. Probably not code compliant, but nonetheless, describe this house to me, Miss Shelton. What is it?
The 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom.
And
Basement
which part of the
half
house?
finished.
They rented the whole house?
No. They did the basement. I offered the bedrooms upstairs, but the kids ruined like my closet door, a bunch of different things. So they stayed in the basement.
And what was down there?
It's like 3 rooms. It's like half finished. The walls need just the drywall on them. The floor has flooring.
How many bedrooms?
4.
In the basement?
Oh no, in the basement there's 3 rooms. They're not bedrooms, but there's 3 rooms.
Is there a bathroom?
It's upstairs. There's 3 bathrooms in the house.
And then what about a kitchen?
There's a kitchen.
So they had access to the bathrooms and the kitchen?
They had access to the whole house, yes.
So this really, the wheels fell off after the first month. And they did try to make some payments as they could. What happened to Dominic?
He lost his job in December, and I was freshly postpartum when we first moved in, so it wasn't as easy for me to find employment right away. When he lost his job in December, I was able to receive employment and paid Madison what I could. Dominic and I were going through issues in our relationship, and we ended up breaking it off officially in March.
Okay, so he's not in the picture anymore?
No, he has not been at all for almost a year. No, since March, sorry.
All right. Well, it's one thing is owing something, another is being able to collect on it. But I think this money is owed. Whether it's fair that they went only against you, I don't know, but we're talking about January's rent, February's rent, March's rent, utilities.
I do have a question for you though, because by no means did the agreement of utilities ever come up, not with me, not with Dominic. The agreement was made with Dominic because he was the one that was employed to pay half of the rent. And the utilities are just being tacked on. That was never, when me and Matt, right before I had moved out, Madison had asked me if I could help with utilities. And I had explained to her that I was giving her what I could because I was paying $250 in childcare on top of giving her what I could. Didn't have any kind of state assistance or child support to help feed my kids. My daughter was living off of $50 cans of formula every 3, 4, or 5 days, depending how much she chose to eat. Like, I was really struggling financially, especially mentally. And I just wanted to be able to, it was my kids over anything else. And I'm sure anybody who's a parent can understand that. But the
Well, do you agree that the rental amount was $1,200 a month?
Yeah, that's what they had agreed upon, was $1,200 a month.
Right. And was there a clause for you would pay half of the utilities?
No, there was not.
The deal with the utilities was when she moved in November, she had food stamps and she was getting about $1,700 in food stamps. And I said she didn't have to pay utilities if the food went into the house for everybody. In December, her food stamps got cut off. And at that point, I told her, okay, well, if you're not helping put the food in the house, I need help with the utilities now. And then she didn't have food stamps the rest of the time. There's a way that you
do that, Ms. Shelton. It's called a lease.
Yeah.
You're changing the rules in the middle of the game. I think everybody's on the same page that rent is $1,200 a month. So we've got 4 months: December, January, February, and March. So there's
I'm sorry,
40.
Your Honor. Can I say something really quickly?
Yes.
December, January, and you said December, January, February, and March. Those are the months that we did not pay at all.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna offset it by the amount you paid. The total amount of rent for those 4 months was $4,800. So let's figure out how much you paid. You paid $300 in December. You paid $200 in January. You paid $600 in January. March rent paid. Did she pay March's rent?
Yes.
No.
Or I thought she did. If I wrote it down that she did, she paid it.
All right, then she owes $3,600. So I'm gonna subtract what she did pay, which was $1,100. Let's recap that. It appears that she paid $300 in December, $200 in January. She paid $600 in January. And I took March out of it. So 3,600 minus 1,100 is $2,500.
I'd also like to add that I didn't include the trash removal fees, also the damages to my house from her and her children. We had to load up 4 trucks of garbage and take it to the dump.
Yeah, I repeat what I said. No good deed goes unpunished. You don't have a lease. You're doing this on a handshake and a he said, she said.
Correct.
And so my advice is don't get in the landlord business like this again. And it's probably not code compliant. If this was in the city of Constantine or Three Rivers, you couldn't rent it like this. You couldn't charge somebody $1,200 to live in your basement. So I find $2,500 for the plaintiff, plus the court costs of $86.25. Total is $2,586.25. Miss Shelton, Ms. Zablocki, I don't believe you presently have the ability to pay anything on this. You got 5 children and no child support help.
I make $13 an hour, Your Honor.
You're just barely keeping your head above water, but nonetheless.
I don't even think I'm above water.
This was a debt that was incurred. I took all the utilities and other expenses out of it. I gave you credit for everything that's been paid. So the motion to set aside, the default was set aside for lack of service. And we'll do a new judgment of $2,500 plus costs. Ms. Shelton, you're still on Michigan Avenue?
Yes.
Is that where this house was?
Yes.
Well, you can't do that in the city of Three Rivers. 318 East Michigan. Is that the big house that Dave Miller used to own?
I don't know a Dave Miller.
Is it kitty corner from Riverside Church?
No.
I'm trying to figure out, I'll look it up. At any rate, yeah, this wasn't code compliant with the city of Three Rivers. Ms. Zablocki, is your union address presently correct?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to shut off the live stream and have you give me your address.